They may be the biggest and most terrifying predators on the planet, but when bears find themselves facing our beloved dogs, all of that goes away, and they find themselves completely consumed by a single thought: running away as fast as they can, which is exactly what we're about to see today. When this guy stopped by the side of the road to get some fresh air, he didn't expect a bear to show up. The bear spotted the man and his dog and wanted to test the waters, see if it could get something to eat out of the encounter. But as soon as the bear approached, the man's loyal dog rushed to meet it. The bear was visibly nervous, and the man was too, but the dog never budged, giving the bear only one of two choices: either move forward and face the dog's wrath, or back away and pretend like nothing ever happened. The bear got the message loud and clear, and seeing how bold the dog was, it decided to keep its distance and avoid the confrontation. After entering what it didn't know was a guarded area, this bear ended up having to run for its life after two Kangals charged at it. The bear was absolutely terrified, and it didn't even consider fighting the massive canines. The dogs didn't seem interested in fighting the bear either, though. They seemed only interested in driving out of their territory and keeping everyone in it safe. The two dogs were eventually joined by a third, and if the bear had any intentions of standing its ground or taking its chances against the two dogs, it definitely must have reconsidered once the third dog showed up. This bear found itself surrounded by all kinds of dogs, both Kangals and other powerful breeds. The bear was a massive one, but the dogs stood their ground and banded together, sending a clear warning to the predator. If the bear had dared to attack any of the dogs, the entire pack would have swarmed it and tore it apart. It would have been a bloody battle, but the bear knew to not cross any boundaries. In situations like these, even the most powerful predators will tiptoe around these dogs and become extra careful not to offend or provoke them. Sadly, the clip was too short for us to see what happened next, but I bet the bear took the safe route and got out of there as quickly as it could. A young bear cub was trapped on top of a small tree here, and there were two young Kangals waiting for it downstairs. The terrified cub had no one there to protect it, and the dogs were just dying to get their paws on it. In a desperate attempt to avoid capture, the small bear jumped down and started running as fast as it could, with the Kangals chasing right after it. The cub's mother must have been close, and if she was, the dogs were probably gonna have to fight her at the end of that pursuit. Kangals can be an absolute nightmare to face, but when it's a mother fighting for her young, even the most docile creatures will turn into vicious beasts, let alone a fully grown bear. 4 bears were advancing towards 2 not very big dogs here. The biggest of the bears was probably a mother, and the 3 others were probably her cubs. The cubs were somewhat huge too, though. The 2 dogs spotted them coming and didn't hesitate for a moment. They charged with full speed, heading directly towards the bears. The bears were bigger and outnumbered the dogs 2 to 1, but as soon as the typically dominant predators saw the dogs coming, they completely panicked and changed course, running as fast as they could to avoid dealing with the eager dogs. The oldest bear was actually the one to run first, which caused the other 3 to lose their composure and follow suit. The dogs went straight after them, but they all disappeared from view behind the bushes. Meeting in an abandoned backyard, 2 bears found themselves facing 2 very aggressive dogs here. The bears were simply taking a stroll when the 2 dogs showed up, teeth bared and barking at the top of their lungs. One bear quickly ran away, leaving the other one to face the hostile dogs alone. The bear quickly stood on its hind legs, aiming to appear bigger in order to intimidate the dogs, but the dogs kept advancing, getting more and more aggressive with each second. One of the dogs almost bit the bear's claw, forcing the bear to get back on all 4s in order to escape. The bear's attempt to intimidate the dogs failed miserably, and the only choice that it was left with was escape. And that's exactly what it did. All hell broke loose when a mother bear and her 2 cubs came into a residential area by mistake here. The bear spotted an army of dogs in the area and rushed to get out. But in her frantic state, she forgot that she had 2 cubs with her, and only 1 cub made it out of there with her. The other, smaller cub was naively fearless, and it went charging straight at the dogs, which was a huge mistake. The dogs were a bit taken back by the little one's bold move at first, but they quickly shook the surprise off and attacked the foolish cub. The mother bear had been long gone by now, and the little cub was left to face the hostile dogs alone. The fight didn't go in the cub's favor, of course, but someone quickly intervened and got the dogs to let go of it. Two huge dogs caught wind of a bear that was coming in from the mountains here. The dogs knew that the bear might come down and terrorize the village nearby, and they didn't need to be told what had to be done. The fearless canines stormed the bear and attacked it with everything that they had, knocking it to the ground and pinning it down on its back at one point. The fight was a brutal one, but the dogs clearly had the upper hand. The bear was only fighting to keep the hostile beasts from killing it while it tried to figure out an exit strategy. The battle lasted for some time, and all that the bear was able to achieve was get away alive, but with so many scars that will remind it of this incident forever. Polar bears are probably the most deadly land predators on the planet, and they're definitely the most vicious out of all the bears. This one walked into the wrong neighborhood and got a welcoming party. The resident dogs all gathered around it and formed a circle, ready to attack at a moment's notice. The dogs still understood how dangerous the predator was, and none of them tried to make the first move. The bear acted like it wasn't nervous at all, but as soon as it saw the dogs gathering around it, it turned back and walked away into the night. The bear needed to seem like it was calm and in control, because any sign of weakness was going to bring an attack from all possible angles with it. Another monstrously big bear ended up getting chased away by a group of angry dogs here. It isn't clear what the bear was doing there, but the dogs didn't wait to find out. As soon as they spotted the massive beast, they got in its face and began barking at the top of their lungs. The bear faked a charge at the dogs, hoping to scare them into leaving, but the dogs didn't flinch, and that was when the bear realized that it was in huge trouble. The huge predator weighed its options very carefully, and after a short pause, it decided that walking away was the best option, as it wasn't ready to face so many opponents that were so eager for a fight. Something really strange happened here. Someone spotted 3 wolves and a huge bear in the same vicinity, and quickly pulled out their phone to film it. The bear was only watching the wolves at first, but when one wolf attacked the other, the bear saw its chance and tried to catch them by surprise, attacking as soon as the wolves got into it. But once the bear attacked, the wolves stopped fighting and attacked the bear. And instead of the bear catching them off guard, it ended up uniting them, and the wolves managed to corner the bear pretty quickly. Eventually, the bear stood surrounded by the angry wolves, and now it had only one thought on its mind: get away from the hostile canines in one piece. What a poorly calculated move that was. Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. And please, turn on your notifications bell to get notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.